Whoa. Call out. She was from the west side, uptown, 45th Ave, bad little thing, she a cutie, and she got swag, told her that when I come through, we could pop tags, took her out of town just for shopping, you know we blow it back, don't care if haters is watching, they just getting mad.
When you talk about God, you did bring up spirit, God and spirituality and things of that nature. I did watch your YouTube or your talk where you spoke about the pastor who got robbed in Brooklyn. And you were pretty much saying, and I feel the same way. We're glad nothing happened to him. We don't want anything to happen to him. But at the same time, in my opinion, when we talk about why our Black communities aren't thriving like they should, and they don't have the schools and the grocery stores and the banks as they should, is because of the churches. I'm not gonna say because of, but they're one of the reasons because I feel like they take so much from the community, but give back so little. And I understand it's a business, you know what I mean? But I also understand business, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like they could be doing a lot more in the community than they are. And then, like I stated, with the young man, being robbed, and I feel like he was actually robbed by, of course, it was an inside job. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was somebody in the congregation, somebody's grandson or something. So, but how do you feel about that with the churches in the community?
Yes, sir. And as you said, we're glad that the pastor in Brooklyn who was robbed a few weeks ago was not harmed, family was not harmed, although we deplore the fact that I believe he said a gun was put to his wife. No child should see that ever happen to their mother. And so we send our prayers to the congregation and we pray that nothing like that ever happens again. But to your point, the Black church has been the greatest institutional traitor in the Black community, hands down. The one institution that regularly gets Black people's money. I mean, regularly gets. There's only one institution in our community that regularly gets Black people's money, and that's the church. I've read estimates, my brother, that said Black people collectively, every Sunday, 52 weeks in a year, every Sunday, nationwide, Black people give between $3 and $13 million a Sunday. I'm gonna say that again. Every Sunday, between $3 and $13 million every Sunday. With that type of money, why doesn't the Black church have any institutions it can show? Where are the hospitals owned by the Black church? Where are the schools owned by the Black church? Where are super? I'm sorry about that, brother. Somebody called in on the line that the number private. I don't even know how that happened.
Oh, no problem, bro. Appreciate
Got
it.
the recording? Okay, let me continue. With $3 to $13 million being collected every Sunday by the Black church nationally, no schools, no hospitals, no bank, no supermarkets, no jobs, no distribution, no manufacturing, no community defense. Why is the Black church still in existence if it takes that type of financial resource from the people and does not replenish, does not reciprocate? People often say, why don't Black men go to church? The reason a lot of Black men, especially young Black men, are not in the church because the church does not empower Black men politically or financially. And to the prosperity pastors, here's what I want to say. If you are a prosperity pastor in America, I don't care if it's T.D. Jakes, I don't care if it's Creflo Dollar, I don't care if it's the young brother from Brooklyn. Here's what I want to say. A prosperity pastor is a hypocrite by definition. And I want to say why. 3 points. Point number 1. Conspicuous consumption is a product of capitalism. Conspicuous consumption is a product of capitalism. It teaches that in order to be successful, you have to surround yourself with expensive merchandise. Every religion in history, every prophet taught humility. To lead, you must be humble. To be a leader, you must be as humble as sheep. So how can you wear $1,000 outfits, drive $100,000 cars, and claim to be a shepherd of the Lord when a shepherd, by definition, is supposed to be what? Travel amongst the lowest in the society. You're supposed to show those who have nothing that their life has as much dignity as those who have everything. So the fact that you are a symbol of capitalism, a prosperity preacher is a symbol of capitalism. There's no way you can be an advocate of capitalism and a symbol of capitalism and at the same time claim to be a messenger of the Lord. Capitalism and spirituality cannot coexist. Number two, Black people, although we are 2 trillion, are one of the most economically devastated groups in America. Economic devastation. So if you are a prosperity preacher and the prosperity ends with you, the prosperity ends with your wife, the prosperity ends with the size of your church, the prosperity ends with the Black professionals and celebrities that attend your church. If your prosperity does not reach down to the disenfranchised, if you claim to be a prosperity pastor and your prosperity isn't reaching those who have nothing and bringing them to where you are an exploiter of poverty. Number 3, every significant religious leader in history of our race was so spiritual that they automatically became political. Jesus Christ, Moses, Muhammad, they were so spiritual that Moses ended up leading a rebellion, metaphorically, even if not historically accurate. Muhammad ibn Abdullah was so spiritual that Islam became a political movement. Jesus Christ was so spiritual that Jesus's doctrine threatened the white power structure in Jerusalem. So here's my question. If Moses ended up becoming politically relevant, if Jesus ended up becoming politically relevant, if Muhammad ibn Abdullah ended up becoming politically relevant, why isn't T.D. Jakes politically relevant? Why isn't Creflo Dollar politically relevant? Why are none of these multi-million-dollar prosperity preachers politically relevant to Black people if you claim to be a shepherd of the Lord?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. And I don't think too many people have an answer for you because, I mean, you know, once again, like I stated before, it's business. And it's crazy because I never knew until I got older that church was a nonprofit organization. So, I mean, they're like one of the best organizations that you can be in this country. And in my opinion, they could be doing so much more, but they just choose not to. So,
and why? The reason they don't is the same reason why most Black politicians are also no good. Most Negroes do not start churches or become politicians to help Black people. We need to understand this. Most pastors and politicians in the Black community did not join that because they wanted to help. They joined it to help themselves. Most of them open churches so they can live off the people's money. Most Black people run for office, again, to live off people's tax money. And I don't know if you know this, my brother, but in most jurisdictions, once you run for office and you win, and you are elected to 2 consecutive terms, 2 consecutive terms as mayor, 2 consecutive terms as state rep, U.S. senator, state senator, you get what they call a pension when you retire. You only was in office for 1 term, 2 terms, but you will receive a politician's pension for the rest of your life. These Negroes are not running for office to help Black people. They're looking out for their family and their future. That's it. There's no liberation in these Negroes, only opportunism.